My name's Amy, I'm 29 years old and I'm the Communications Coordinator with the Public Affairs and Communications team at Coca-Cola.
I'm Reese, I'm the Social Media Manager here at Coke. I look after Coca-Cola AU, NZ and also Sprite at the moment.
I'm Bobby. Well, my official title here at Coca-Cola is Nutrition Manager or Nutrition and Regulatory Affairs Manager.
So when I left school, I actually didn't get the marks that I wanted to get into the course that I wanted, which was at University of Technology in Sydney. So I had to look into other options, and one of those was to move out to the country, out to Bathurst at Charles Sturt University.
After finishing school, I was one of those guys who didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So I knew I didn't want to go straight into uni, but I wasn't sure exactly what industry to kind of try to get into or what path to follow. But yeah, from there, I knew that I still had that passion in kind of film production and just telling stories and interacting with people and being social in just any way possible.
I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do when I finished school. I went to school at a more regional area, and there wasn't a lot of help when it came to what do I do after year 12, where do I go? I remember talking to our career advisor at the time, and he sort of said to me, well, what do you like? And I said, oh, I like science and I like sport. Oh, you could be a PE teacher. So I was like, oh.
In the end, it was the best decision I ever made. I did a double degree in public relations and business studies and landed a job in the communications team in a state government department called State Water Corporation. I took that job back to Sydney and basically decided that it was time for a change and got onto LinkedIn, and here I am at Coca-Cola.
I volunteered on a short film, made pretty good friends with the head of lighting, and he offered me a position. And then from there, did that for about almost 2 years. Applied for a job at Disney and lucky enough got that, but that's where I kind of got my main introduction to the social side of that kind of content production. So I was at Disney for about 3 years, and then they were moving our office down to Melbourne, but I wanted to stay in Sydney. So I looked for another job and then ended up getting one with a small company called Quip. And that's actually how I first got my exposure to Coke. Did a little bit of work through Quip with Coke, and then Coke offered me a job a bit after that.
I took a lot of time to work out what I wanted, but I actually realised when I was travelling, I started to pick up these nutrition books. And that's where I sort of realised, actually, I could go into nutrition at uni. This is what I like, this is what I'm interested in. I'm actually an accredited practicing dietitian and have worked in clinical settings, but now I work in industry like for Coca-Cola, so it's really interesting.
I know what it's like for someone to give me a helping hand and a bit of advice, and in the end that advice that was given to me landed me a job here at Coca-Cola.
If you're struggling to kind of know what your next step would be in your career, or even just like getting a job, or even like what do you want to study. So I know how frustrating, kind of daunting that can be. So I just want to kind of help people out and let them know that it doesn't have to be that scary.
It is so important to help students now, or people at school now, really understand that they're setting themselves up for where they're going to go, and it should be exciting and interesting. So I think that's why I really love what we're doing with Beacon.